Right, welcome guys. First reactions / first reviews for the Mandalorian and Grogu. Mixed, mostly positive. Take from that what you will. Thought we would take a look at this like I do with most movies that are sort of blockbusters or quote unquote supposed to be blockbusters. A movie which I'm either looking forward to, I'm not looking forward to this, or a movie which, I don't know, is an upcoming movie that may change the industry to some degree. This is one of those movies. So I do this all the time. If that's your jam, do hit subscribe to stay tuned for more videos like this. But yeah, it's an interesting response. I just thought we'd go through it, really. So as you can see from this article, The Mandalorian and Grogu was finally screened to critics last night. And following the movie's world premiere, we have the first social media reaction. So it's a really interesting point, this, is that they screened 25 minutes of this as a special screening on May the 4th. You could go watch it. And 25 minutes is almost close to a quarter of the movie, right? Really bizarre. This movie runs in like 2 hours, 12 minutes. And about 10 minutes of it will be about, roughly, credits. And it's fascinating, the amount of clips that they've been showing. I mean, if you think about this, 25 minutes is a really long time for a movie that you've shown. To me, that says that there's a lot of dead space in this movie, that you can just show 25 minutes of it and not worry about it spoiling anything. Really odd, right? Like, just a point, I think, anyway. But yeah, so we've now got social media reactions anyway. It says this: most are very positive, which we'll get to in a minute, promising Star Wars fans a fun, pulpy summer blockbuster, plenty of action and heart, along with the expected Grogu cuteness. So they're just playing up with that nonsense again, but fine. It also sounds like Jeremy Allen White's Rot of the Hutt is a scene stealer, despite only being shown fleetingly in trailers and TV spots. Side note with that, they apparently went back and filmed more and got him in the movie more, beefed up his role, pun intended, because he's supposed to be a jacked Hutt. But it's interesting. So the consensus seems to be that, for better or worse, it feels like a feature-length episode of The Mandalorian. Everyone said this was going to be the case. Literally everyone said this was going to be the case. So fascinating. But anyway, filmmaker Jon Favreau has confirmed that The Mandalorian and Grogu isn't a condensed version of Season 4, and it will seemingly be a standalone adventure with a similar feel to Season 1 and 2. But I take that with a massive pinch of salt. So let's take a look, right? Courtney Howard, Mandalorian and Grogu is a ton of fun. A perfect summer movie. Action-packed. With a lot of humour and heart. Not episodic. A full cinematic journey. Grogu steals the show. See it on the biggest screen possible. Now, that's our gauge right there. We're going to have a look through this. Is there going to be any recurring themes? Which could be studio talking points. Maybe. We'll have a look. We will have a look. But fine, sure, whatever. The Mandalorian and Grogu is a grin-inducing crowd pleaser that puts Star Wars back on theatrical track. Director Jon Favreau is again a safe pair of hands that deliver a solid, thrilling and engaging romp. A solid popcorn movie that is the summer blockbuster you're looking for. Oh, right, I see. Ha. Perfect summer movie. Perfect summer blockbuster. But the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I said that in yesterday's video. People were like, I haven't heard that for years. Well, you heard it today. Anyway, right, so let's move on. Rachel Leichman. The Mandalorian and Grogu is a perfect expansion of what the show set up. Truly the best outing yet for baby Grogu and his dad. And also the best 20 minutes of a side quest to ever exist. God, I love Star Wars on the big screen. Bit of a nothing comment, that one, isn't it, really? Bit of a nothing burger. The Mandalorian and Grogu is an energizing, action-packed adventure that any Star Wars fan can enjoy. All of the fight scenes and high-speed chases will keep you hooked. Pedro Pascal still nails it as Din Djarin, and it's Grogu, and all the puppets will tug at your heartstrings. Okay. So, not too many talking points here by the looks of things. People pushing Grogu, but that could just genuinely be because they're pushing Grogu, and he is well liked. It's not outside of the realms of possibility. The Mandalorian and Grogu, Ludwig Göransson, never asleep at the wheel because of the music. His new themes and motifs are just as addicting as ever. If it wasn't already obvious, he is invaluable to the whole Mando franchise. I actually quite like Ludwig Göransson's music. I think it's pretty decent, to be honest. People always bang on about Hans Zimmer, but Ludwig is pretty decent. He's very good. The Mandalorian and Grogu. Let's just click on this a little bit more. The Mandalorian and Grogu. The marketing had me worried, but this movie is actually a lot of fun. Yes, it does feel like a supersized, high-budget few episodes of the TV show. Not really a good thing. More of an adventure of the week than a huge galactic event story. If you like the show, you'll love this. If you didn't, you probably won't. The Anzellans, still the show. Don't know who that is or what that is. So that's interesting. Was there any other side comments there? The only thing I despise with the passion is when people keep calling him Mando. His name is Din Djarin. Mandalorian is a creed culture. That's like calling Jar Jar Gunji every time he walks into a room, or Togru when referring to Ahsoka. Alright, whatever. Let's have a look through some more. Mandalorian and Grogu is one of the weakest Star Wars movies. Oh. An emotionless, predictable experience that doesn't push Din Djarin anywhere interesting. But they have had this problem with the show in general, is there is no character development. There is nothing, no progression. Grogu did progress, but then just came straight back because they needed him for plushies. But whatever. Dull, unexciting fight scenes, just CGI monsters, action figures mashed together. A long, colourless, made-for-TV movie. That's the impression I got from the trailers. So, you know, it is what it is. I saw The Mandalorian and Grogu, fans of the series, before the Darksaber lore and Imperial Remnant intrigue. So before Season 3. We'll find it right... Yeah, it was before Season... Was it? Was it before Season 3 or was it before Season 2? This is just like Season 1. When was that? Anyway. We'll find it right up your alley. It's a Lucasfilm Toy Box showcase. Grab a hot dog. It's a big long and Martin Scorsese will make you hungry for a spamwich. Brilliant. Mandalorian and Grogu is, as expected, a longer, bigger episode of the show. It has one or two standout scenes, but it feels much more interested in developing the story to new locations with new creatures than the characters. Enjoyed some of it, left frustrated by the rest. That's a terrible review. Star Wars is back on the big screen, and the film is a thrilling adventure full of big fights, gnarly creatures, plenty of adorable Grogu moments. It's less about the lore, more of a fun, freaky romp across the galaxy. I really dug that about it. I also really dug Ludwig Göransson's score, especially the parts that felt like an homage to 80s synth-driven horror. That's interesting. And action thrillers. Martin Scorsese's brief role is a big scene stealer, as are the Anzellans. It reminded me how fun Star Wars can be when it stops worrying about canon homework and just cuts loose. Treat it like a pulpy Saturday matinee ride and you'll have a blast. With that, I would say, where's the incentive to watch it on the big screen then? You know, if it feels like a TV show, I'll just watch it on my TV. What's this? So, Perry Nemiroff said, Mandalorian and Grogu, I'm just defenseless against Grogu and the Anzellan droid smiths. Irresistibly cute and also a filmmaking feat I cannot get enough of. Rotter the Hutt, not as much. Live action Hutts are a challenge to pull off. Gladiator Hutt even more so. And it didn't help that Rotter's dialogue was often too on the nose. He did grow on me, but it feels like there was a more compelling way to convey his place in the world and his mission. Interesting. Is there a little bit more there? Oh, yeah. A good deal of the visuals are stunners. There's a lengthy one-er that I'll be thinking about for a while. When it comes to the big action set pieces, though, I did prefer the practical and grounded to the digital heavy creature material. For example, the opening of the movie, fantastic. But some of the creature heavy mayhem felt a bit too muddled to fully appreciate. Interesting. My personal The Mandalorian and Grogu MVP, Ludwig Göransson. He's got 3 Oscars now, so this is probably obvious, but every production with him on the roster is so lucky to have him. I still cannot get enough of the Mando theme and was energized over and over again as Göransson kept working it into the film. The score for the Shikari material was especially electrifying. Overall, it's a good time. Not the most cohesive narrative, but it's still one brimming with creativity, charm, adventure, and ample opportunities to make the most of the movie magic and cinematic spirit the Star Wars franchise affords. Interesting. The thing is that's not good praise when you've had X, Y, and Z. Like 7 years, isn't it, since they've been on the big screen now? Bloody long time. Not a good thing. Anyway, or was it 6 years? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. So apparently it's a blast, proving that Star Wars doesn't need lightsabers to be worthy of the big screen. Cool creature design, sleek look, make this promotion to the theatrical experience well deserved. And it smartly leans towards entertaining action adventure. This individual liked the movie way more than they expected. First half felt like what they thought it would be. Did not expect to love Rot of the Hutt as much as I did. And seeing Grogu be the hero was great. Star Wars on the big screen just feels right. It's fair. Apparently it's fine. Mandalorian and Grogu is fine. An inoffensive, technically impressive spectacle that's kind of a snooze fest. Very much structured like an abridged season of the TV show, which unfortunately plays like watching the cutscenes of a Star Wars video game. Ooh, instead of playing one. That's bad. The expansion of the canvas unfortunately exposes the weakness in the writing and lack of emotional connection I felt for much of the series. Favreau has the touch, if only someone else wrote the script. That being said, it's a nice return to the pulpiness and simplicity of the first 2 seasons. Ludwig is working overtime to deliver the goods. If you love the show, I'm sure you'll have fun. That's it. That's the first reviews. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I think it sounds like a big old pile of poo. From all of that, if it's going to be a TV show, I will watch it on the small screen.